I've been in the online space for the last 8 years and leveraged DM outreach for the last 5 years on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, specifically landing business owners as clients of mine for my marketing services. So if you're a B2B business owner or someone who offers a service to other businesses and help them grow their business, I want to share with you what I've learned in the last 5 years and how you can get more qualified appointments and ultimately land clients and scale your business. Now, before I dive into the various lessons I've learned, and honestly, going into this video, I don't know how many lessons I'm going to share. There are some that are going to be fundamental or just a reminder because you're already doing it, and some that might seem honestly controversial and you might have thought it a different way. But here again, I would just want to share with you my insights over the last 5 or so years doing DM outreach for myself and other people. And the first lesson I do want to share with you is less words is more. A lot of times in the DMs, we like to really use a lot of words, and that ultimately leads to a block of text, maybe 3, 5 sentences in just one serious message. And to be honest with you, especially in B2B, business owners like ourselves, they just don't have enough time to really read the entire thing, comprehend it, and come up with a response in return. And most likely, you've been on the receiving end yourself, whether it be someone inquiring to actually partner with you, or you just getting simply a message from your mother or your family, and you're like, I'll read this another time because you saw how long it is. And so in this quick lesson, make it as concise as possible. And if you do have to share a message that is 3, 5 sentences long, do your best to break it up so it's visually easier to read it and easier to comprehend. Now, this leads into my second lesson, which is in your message, the majority of what you want to really share isn't about your product, but more about the transformation your product brings to your business or to your clients. Now, I talked to a lot of business owners, but recently I've talked to a lot of marketing business owners selling AI, specifically AI receptionists. And I talk to these guys and they just talk a lot about the product, like saying how, hey, business owner, you can replace your front desk lady or man, and you don't have to pay AI. It doesn't sleep. It's like, to be honest, first off, we've been hearing this for the last 4 years. Second off, what does that mean for them? Instead, talk about how this really helps their business and ultimately transforms their life. And this might sound very radical, but talk about how it will transform the business owner's life in the way they conduct business. So for me, when I DM gym owners talking about how I can generate them leads, I talked about, hey, just stay busy with your personal training clients. You don't have to worry about checking your DMs, checking your text messages or email inquiries, rushing back and forth between the sets with your personal training client to going back to the front desk, making sure you don't miss any new leads or prospects who might need your service. I'm just saying, stay with your clients. I'll take care of the rest. I'll get you the leads and you'll see them on your calendar. All you have to do is just show up. And for them, that was mind blowing because that transformed their lifestyle, that transformed the way they saw how business can be done. Now, number three, and I've talked about this a lot, and you probably have heard this a lot, and if you haven't, this is probably a huge fundamental thing, but volume is king in outreach, in any outreach, emails, cold calling, or DMs. But specifically with DMs, no one's just living in the DMs. So yes, you want to make your message concise. You want to talk about how it's transformational for their business, which would lead to more interest, more of a reply. But you need to know that you can't just expect 7 messages, 10 messages in a day to get you a client a week. For me, sometimes it took me 500 DMs just to get one appointment, and that's okay. What I like to say is that volume negates luck. So first off, practically, if you're in the DMs trying to get yourself more business owners to land as clients, you need to realize, and the reality is, send more than 30, 50 messages per day. Now, realistically, you probably are going to get capped out by the community guidelines of Instagram or Facebook, especially, or LinkedIn. So what you're going to have to do is get more accounts, which you can do on Instagram or Facebook. LinkedIn, you're just going to have to stay within that 200 a week connections rate, and also leverage, if you want, and I recommend and insist, get Sales Navigator so you can get 150 in-mails a month. Those in-mails will go straight to their inbox, hurdling that connection request, and just get you even 5, 10 appointments, which can lead to an extra client. So practically do as much as possible. And that leads me to, I think it's my fourth lesson, is that consistency is everything. While you push out tons and tons of volume, one day being 100 and then the next day being 0 because you were busy, and then you do 15 because you were busier, but you try to do your best with it, and then you do 100 again. You got to be consistent with the amount you push out, because in your pipeline, If your volume of messages is volatile, right? Again, sending 0 one day, then 100, then back to 5 the next day, then 30 the next day, you're going to see that having a trickle effect into your sales process. Less or more appointments, less or more shown appointments, less or more closes. And that's because you're playing volatile. Now, solution to that, which is my next lesson, is if you need help to be consistent, send amount of volume, and get more appointments to DM outreach, get a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants are arguably the most underrated position in any business. It's cost effective whether you hire them from the Philippines, South Americas like Colombia. I think that's Central. No, I'm sorry. I don't know my geography. That is South America. Or South Africa, like Johannesburg. You can pay them $3 to $4 an hour plus commission for every booked appointment they bring you, incentivizing them, which is a great thing to do, by the way. A low cost in your business to help you simply land more clients. So maybe you're still working a side job or hustling while trying to build your B2B business. Get a virtual assistant to help you. That's what I did while I was literally in college, being a good student, to be transparent with you, getting my homework done, doing everything before work, honestly. And I had a virtual assistant. I actually had two virtual assistants doing DM outreach for me and with me. And they helped me send out virtually 100 DMs every single day to gym owners and other business owners I wanted to land as clients. That way I can be consistent. The next thing I want to share with you, just taking it across to a different topic and lesson, is you got to do a lot of testing. I think it was Alex Ramosi who said that a lot of the best genius marketers that he knows, and he was talking about like big guys, especially him because he's already good at marketing. Anyways, he says that a lot of them do 11 times the amount of testing normal people like us do in our business. Testing 11 times more thumbnails on YouTube or titles on YouTube. In the exact same way, you want to split test a ton of different opening messages, what gets more replies in the DMs, test different deliveries on your pitch and your offer and how it can transform people's business, and ultimately see what is bringing you more positive replies, booked appointments, and clients. And I'll attribute this to myself and my business back then because we usually just did only one or two different types of variations or scripts at a time. And maybe yourself, you're trying DMs or you're trying email and you're not getting the amount of replies or open rates or bookings that you want necessarily, and you're probably throwing your hands and saying, okay, DM outreach doesn't work. I don't think it works for my market, at least. It's like, well, to be honest, most likely in B2B, your clients are on either Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. You just haven't done enough testing. It's like going to the gym, trying to follow this one workout routine for 7 days. You don't see results, and then you're like, okay, going to the gym really doesn't do anything for me, really. It's like, of course it does. You just didn't give it enough time in a time horizon, and you also didn't do enough of it. Which actually leads to my next lesson, which just came to my mind, honestly, which is you need to have a larger time horizon when it comes to any type of cold outreach. Yes, you do want to see results as fast as possible, and that's why you want to experiment previous to our other lesson, but you also need to expand the time that you expect these results to come to you. It's crazy to think that in this day and age, you literally can get a client within your first week, but that's rare. You need to treat it like fishing. Yes, a fish literally can hook onto your rod with a bait on, and you can find a fish literally within the first 5 minutes. Correct. But we, as fishermen, they're patient, especially if they're going to go after the big guys, the big businesses in this case. They know to be patient. In practicality, you want to be patient enough to give it a test for 3 months. Because even if you do get appointments and they don't land in the first month, keep following up with them, keep talking to them. You've already got them in your ecosystem or simply your pipeline, and you can follow up with them. And then by month 2 or 3, they could become your clients. And if you do this, as you've been following my other lessons, a lot of volume at a consistent pace with a solid script that's concise and sharing a solid offer that will help and that they understand that it can help their business, eventually you're going to land good clients. So just expand your time horizon. Don't think that, hey, I'm going to give this a shot for 7 days, 14 days, or even a month. Give it 3 months. Give it 6 months of your full attention and effort. Now, here's my other lesson too on top of that, and that is follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Follow up truly is key because again, no one lives in the DMs every day, single day, waiting for your replies. So on times when you're waiting for a day or two, just go ahead and follow up, but be friendly with it. Don't be pushing for a meeting, don't be forcing or salesy with it, and just be really transparent with the business owner and say, hey, is this a priority? I don't mean to nag, but I just want to check in and see if this is something you want to talk about. If not, no worries, just let me know. And practically, just as a lesson in of itself, I like to give it 3 follow-ups throughout 1 or 2 weeks. The first one, just simply assuming that they are swamped or busy with work, and I'm just nudging this politely, this message about wanting to see if we can work together or partner. The second message, maybe 3 or 4 days after they seen my last message or when we were having a conversation, I like to tell them like, hey, hope you're doing good. I recently helped this other business similar to yours get this. I was just curious if that's still a priority or not. Just let me know. Then on the 7th day or going into next week, that's when I just say, hey, just last quick check-in. I don't mean to bother, but if this is ever an issue, let me know. Otherwise, we can just put this on the shelf for now. Hope everything's okay. And what happens, I would say 20-30% of the time, people actually come back to me and say, hey, actually, I was just busy. Sorry for not responding back. Let's schedule a time later today or tomorrow. Which leads me to my next lesson. So that you do a little bit of follow-up is speed to lead. So I get this little debate here and there with business owners asking me for my advice and take on it, which is how fast should you follow up with a lead? And honestly, just do it as fast as you can. If you see it, do it right there. Some people argue with me because they say, well, doesn't that make you feel a little bit needy because you're responding to them super quick? First off, I'm like, get over yourself. It's like taking time slots on purpose away from your calendar just to show that you're busy. No one cares if you're busy. No one cares if you get back to them within a second or two. But for you, in the convenience of it, again, knowing that they aren't living in the DMs, just get back to them as soon as you can, as soon as possible. And if you are generally busy and you are on a call, check it after the call. Guess what? Naturally, you would be 30 minutes late to that. It's totally fine. Message them back and stop thinking about, hey, should I wait an extra hour so that they know I'm busy or I feel like I'm more important? It's like, get over yourself. Now, the other lesson I want to share really fast is don't send the calendar link. Rather, drop your times manually. Honestly, drop your first 2 or 3 earliest times that work for you because you want to get that meeting within, and this is the lesson of itself, but that time frame, you want to try and get them booked in within that same day, tomorrow, or the following day if they have to, right? If it's logistical and they're like on a trip and they can't get back to you until like, next Friday, that's totally fine. That's them telling you can't argue with that. But if you can, try to book them in that same day, if not the next day, because you don't want them to forget. You don't want them to lose so much interest or just be like, oh, when did we talk? I forgot. Just book them in as soon as possible. Now, I could honestly go on and on and on and talking about different lessons. Maybe I'll do a part 2 another day. If this is helpful, just let me know. But my last lesson I want to share with you is send them resources after you do book them in. A lot of times people think that the job is done, that they won, that they're going to become a client once there's a booked appointment. While that is the goal in the DMs or overall outreach, that's really, to be transparent, just the beginning. Because while they're raising their hand, they're saying that they're interested and they do want to meet with you and you guys solidify time for Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central. Just because that's there, it doesn't mean they're going to show up. And it also doesn't mean that they are collaborative or that they want to buy. So send them resources that educate them on who you are as a business and as a company, why you're helping them and other similar business owners, who have you worked with, why should I trust you, answer their questions and pre-handle objections so that the call that you have scheduled is much more smooth. You gotta admit, if someone reached out to you and you did find interest in their help and booking, and you guys book a call, you're also like, who is this guy? And should I still hop on this call? Is this call gonna be worth it to me? So send them resources, send them a VSL page, send them your website, send them an article that talks about how your service help benefits their business. Show them something because 1, they will do their diligence, but 2, help them by being proactive so that they don't have to waste time doing it and that they can see the right things, ultimately, how you can help their business. So I don't know, honestly, I lost track of how many lessons there were in this, but if you want to go ahead, drop it in the comments. What was your number 1 takeaway, number 1 lesson that you valued the most out of this that you're gonna, practice for the next week? Now, we can take all these lessons simultaneously and try to improve everything, which you definitely can combine a couple of things and do them instantly on your next DM or outreach strategy. but really just focus on one thing at a time, whether it be a big picture thing like you need to do more volume, maybe you're now looking at getting a VA because you need to be more consistent, or it's like the last thing I said is, hey, I am getting more appointments, but I need to help these prospects I'm booking in with do their diligence and ultimately see how we can help them by sending them a resource. So I hope this helps. I just really felt like in this video I was called to just share with you the lessons because there's a lot of things that I just go throughout my day to day and I kind of completely forget like, oh, this is actually a big nugget, I've been doing for the last 5 years. I definitely feel like it. So if you guys really like this, just let me know. I can make more of these. And I really hope that this helps you guys acquire more clients through DM outreach, which I know has helped me and my friends in business just grow and become more successful. Okay. So I hope this one helped. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.